Hello everyone, Kent Bressler here. I want to welcome you to Kent's Kidney Stories. During our time together over these podcasts, I'd like to discuss kidney disease. I'd like to tell you about my journey as a transplant patient, but also talk about dialysis, kidney donation, and just about anything else that might be of interest. Kent's Kidney Stories, podcast endorsed and sponsored by kidneysolutions.org. Well, it's Kent Bressler, and we're going to do some podcasting today. And we've got a special guest, and I'll talk to you about him in just a few minutes. I'm going to start with our prayer. Our daily prayer. Dear God, thank you for your amazing power and work in our lives. Thank you for your goodness and for your blessings over us. Thank you for your great love and care, and thank you for your sacrifice so that we may have freedom in life. Forgive us for when we don't thank you enough for who you are, for all that you do, for all that you've given us. Thank you. Help us to set our eyes and our hearts on you afresh. Renew our spirits. Fill us with your peace and joy. We love you and we need you this day and every day, and especially in these hard times. We give you praise and thanks, for you alone are worthy. In Jesus' name, amen. Well, one of the most important guys in my life is going to be on with me. We've had him on once before, but this is a special occasion for Jim Myers. Jim Myers is a consummate social media fella. You'll see his posts all over. And we've grilled into really good items, but the one most important thing is anniversaries, your kidney anniversary. And one of the best things about a kidney anniversary is you get to give people hope by telling them how long you've been transplanted, but you also get to tell your story. And the American Association of Kidney Patients, AAKP, which we are both board members on, has started a project where anyone who's had a transplant, if they want to get a hold of us, I'd be happy to podcast you on your anniversary. We'll do it a little ahead of time so that you can talk about your experiences as a transplant patient. So give us a call. Go to kidneysolutions.org and go ahead and give us a call or email us and tell us you'd like to be part of this AAKP project. We're excited about it. Jim and I are the first two that get to do this. So without further ado, Mr. Myers.
Hello, everybody. It's your Uncle Jim. And I want to talk to you today about my transplant anniversary, April 25th, 2016. A little bit about my background. I'm a PKD patient. I've lost 5 members of my family to PKD, including my father. I was diagnosed when I was 25. I went on dialysis when I was 58, and I was transplanted at the age of 62. I'm 65 now. I have a funny transplant story. I went to see my doctor, my pre-transplant doctor, Dr. Mishler, who's a big shot down at IU Health in Indianapolis. And they visit with you every once in a while. They check on your health, and they make sure that you've done your tests that you have to do every year to stay on the transplant list. So we were reviewing my tests and how I was feeling and all that sort of thing. And we were talking about the wait list. And he said to me, it's probably going to be a year, maybe 2 more years before your number comes up. And, you're used to hearing this kind of stuff from the doctor, because they tell you on average it's a 4 to 5 year wait. So, I'm on dialysis, I'm rolling with it. There's not much else you can do. And that's what I expected. On the 26th of April, I got a call from my pre-transplant coordinator, Christy Williams. And Christy said to me, Jim, we have a kidney for you. And, your typical Uncle Jim response was, oh, don't kid an old man like that. Ha, ha, ha. She said, no, Jim, we have a kidney for you. We need you to get down here as soon as possible. Your transplant is set for tomorrow. So, as a pre-transplant patient, just so everybody knows, your bags are already packed. You know what I mean? You've had a number of false alarms and you're ready to go. So the bags are already packed. Into the car they go, and I head down to Indianapolis. So I get there and I wait and I wait and I wait and I wait most of the next day. And around like 10 o'clock at night, they come to me and they say, we're ready to do your transplant now. And down the hall I go, and I'm in the operating room, and they have you count back from 100. They have the mask on, for the anesthesia, and I'm counting back 99, 98, and I don't remember anything after that until I woke up. And I actually felt I was a little tired, but I felt pretty good. They told me that the kidney woke up right away. It was producing urine. They gave me my GFR, which was ridiculously low. I thought to myself, I haven't had these kind of numbers. My creatinine, my blood was way under 2. Since I was like a teenage boy. So transplant went really well. Now, the funny part, 3 years later, I'm going down to Indianapolis back and forth to visit my doctor and do my blood draws, which you do once a month. And I'm seeing my doctor now every 4 months. He wants to move it to every 6 months. And I run into my transplant doctor in the coffee shop, Dr. William Goggins, who, by the way, we call Dr. 2000 here in Indiana because he's done 2,000 transplants all by himself. And he does adults and he does pediatrics. And of course, we love the guy. So, because he's so exemplary. And so I run into him in the coffee shop and we're talking. And he said to me, did you know that I wrote a study about your transplant? And I said, no, I did not know you wrote a study about my transplant. I thought that everything was Jake, that it went real smooth. I know I felt better. I followed up on everything that you told me to do. The first month or two, you're down there 2-3 times a week. You're getting infusions. They're feeding you breakfast. They're making sure you're taking your medications, that your medications are balanced. And he said to me, yeah, he said, when we did the blood test with the new kidney before we transplanted you, you flunked. It came up negative. And he said, a lot of guys wouldn't have transplanted you under those circumstances. And I'm just staring at him. I mean, this is 3 years later. Okay. I feel like $1 million. All right. I mean, I really feel good. Best I felt, since I was a kid. And he says to me, yeah, you failed that test, but we noticed that your numbers went back and forth all through your testing, that sometimes your antibodies and your antigens were high and sometimes they were low. So we kind of felt that if we did the transplant, your antigens would go back down again and we would just work around them with immunosuppressants. Well, this was news to me. So I asked him to give me a copy of the study, and I have it. I'm going to write about it very soon, Dr. Goggins and I together. But I just wanted to let people know that just because you fail that test doesn't mean that you won't get your transplant. That, for example, if you're in the same boat as I was, where your antigens kind of bounce up and down during your testing, if you have a progressive thinker like Dr. Goggins, you're probably going to get your transplant. So I just want to tell everybody on my 4th anniversary that I take less medication than I ever did. I have a great relationship with all of my docs and my post-transplant coordinator, Moni, and my post-transplant doc, Dr. Debbie. Got to make sure I get everybody's name in there. And I've been very, very fortunate. And, people like myself, people like our friend Jason, people like my friend Kent.Bressler, we try to encourage other people to get transplanted, and we do what we can to help. This is such a much better way of life than doing the dialysis thing 3 times a week, every week for the rest of your life. So I want to encourage everyone out there, if you're on the list, I wish you well, stay healthy, do what the doctors tell you. I hope you get your transplant soon. If you've been thinking about getting a transplant and getting on that wait list, whatever it is that you have to do it, because it is so worth it. It is really so worth it. So, any rate, I want to thank my friends Kent and Jason and all my friends out there in podcast land for wishing me well. It's been a great day for me, and thumbs up. Everybody that's dealing with this virus, stay safe, wear your mask, wash your hands, stay at home as much as you possibly can. And I wish all of you well. Okay, I'm going to give it back to Ken and Jason.
Hey, Jim, can you hear
Yeah.
me? Hey,
yeah,
listen.
I hear you, buddy.
Hey, listen. You're really a joy to listen to, and that was a great story. We just want to make sure that you understand that you're welcome here anytime you want to come in. And if you want to send somebody into this podcast, you know how to get a hold of me. We'd love to talk to them. And I have one question for you.
Yeah, shoot.
Okay, so you're 4 years out. What's your goal?
I hope to keep my kidney as long as I live, the rest of my life.
Okay, so if that's your
my
goal,
is for my kidney to outlive me and be taken out of me and transplanted into somebody else.
Kennedy, listen, this whole process, this idea of how long you have your kidney and the statistics, and it isn't about that, is it? It's what it's really about is providing hope for others. If you tell them you're out 4 years, it gives the person who's just starting a great feeling, right? And then you get to 10, when you get to 15, when you get to 20, all of those, it's not about you, it's about the folks that get hope from seeing it, that it can happen, right?
Absolutely.
Longevity.
Absolutely. My big buddy Kent.Bressler down in Texas is going on what, 33 years now?
Yeah, I'll be 33 April 30th.
April 30th. And, here I am, a teenage guinea pig, and my hero is Kent.Bressler from Texas.
Listen, it was a joy to have you. We're going to have you back. The more you're on, the better I like it. And Jason, thank you a lot. You're a fresh transplant. You're only months out. So you look what you got to look forward to, man. Live your life. Thank you, Jim.
Thank you for having me, guys.
Getting a chance to listen to Jim was fantastic, and to have Jason listening in. Remember, listen, you can call us. We'd love to hear your story. Call us kidneysolutions.org or email me kentbressler70@gmail.com. Now listen, I have an important message for you. Make sure that no matter how you view this, how you listen to it, that you take this home. Make sure you take care of yourself. Always think about taking care of you. Don't rely on anybody. I want you to take care of yourself. And I want you to have longevity with your plan. And if you're waiting, be patient. It will happen. Okay, till later. Keep breathing.